Hello guys, S2W here with another casual consumer's perspective review. This video is an exciting one for me, mainly because it's a sneaker that raises a lot of questions and curiosities since its first announcement in 2017. After the 3 years of strong sneaker releases with revolutionary boost cushioning technology, Adidas has stepped up their next design proposal and wanted to introduce a futuristic medium that can create the next breakthrough of athletic footwear. Today, I have the adidas Consortium Runner 4D Onix Grey here for a review. With some backstory, around mid-2017 and at the height of the Adidas Boost technology fiasco, Adidas collaborated with a startup company, Carbon, in hopes of developing a new technology that would leap forward how sneakers are made, specifically the midsole. This introduced a new silhouette called the Adidas Futurecraft 4D. Using what they say as revolutionary 3D printable material and the latest digital light synthesis technology, it's the first time that previous impossibly imagined midsole geometries are now made possible, and in mass production as well. Quote unquote mass production, which we'll discuss further in a bit. But essentially, it's a new type of midsole created with a brand new 3D printing process, rebranding it as 4D, allowing them to quickly build a product within hours compared to months before. They can now produce new designs and perform tests on athletes quickly for production with time and money saved. This is all possible with Carbon's 3D printing technology, which unlike traditional 3D printing where an object is made by fusing layers of brittle plastic on top of one another to create its structure, this new technique uses light to solidify a gooey photosensitive liquid base and oxygen to keep the rest of the medium liquefied. This technically allows the light source to become a controller, so to speak, that can pinpoint exact spaces to harden and allow the object to grow into complex geometric structures, allowing designs tailored to specific cushioning zones and potentially better responses on different foot shapes. It's also reported to be 25 to 100 times faster than traditional 3D printing apparently, and the results look and feel a lot smoother and integrated than a rough, blocky layer from previous 3D printing techniques. After the OG Futurecraft 4D that released in extremely limited numbers at the beginning of 2018, a few other models gradually became available as well, including a new silhouette called the Alpha Edge 4D, Y3 collaborated silhouettes, the Nike 4D, Daniel Arsham's Futurecraft 4D, and finally the Consortium partner pairs, including working with retailers like Invincible, Foot Patrol, Kith, and SNS. Unfortunately, all of the aforementioned models were also released in extremely limited numbers, just like the OG pair, with most releases only available through local drops where the partnered retailers are located, or selective event launches. As far as I understand, only the white Alpha Edge 4D, Daniel Arsham's 4D, and the pair I have here today included a launch globally for worldwide boutiques. At least that's the case here for Toronto, Canada, yet it was still in awfully limited numbers. Nonetheless, ending the year with the last 4D Consortium release, they have dropped this silhouette that was actually given initially to friends and family, but now available worldwide and rumored to be the last Consortium 4D runner as of this video's upload date. Without further ado, let's take a closer look at this sneaker. Silhouette-wise, the structure of the shoe follows the same build and visual aesthetic of most of the other Consortium partner pairs, including the Daniel Arsham's 4D model. Donning a low top profile made out of a one-piece knit design, this knit is no stranger to Adidas's fans, as the elastic nature and stretchiness by touch gives the answer away immediately. Prime knit material, which is their most popular knit construction known for its adaptability, sock-like fit, and feather-like qualities. Interestingly on this pair, the knit is quite thick like an Ultra Boost 2.0, but with an elasticity reminiscent of the 1.0 or 3.0s. Drenched in a gray base colorway interweaved with spots of black, the shoe gives off a very pixelated graphic print, further amplified with the large ventilation holes spread across the sneaker, including the toe box where an arrowhead design could be seen, the sides of the shoe where the white 3-striped logo is stamped onto the knit surface, and additionally the heel end portion as well. Other than that, the whole upper is essentially just a one piece of flexible textile without much reinforcement, except for the few tape overlays glued internally at the ankle region for some heel structure, outer heel counters on both sides of the shoe with an additional embroidery at the lateral side, and under the lace openings to basically strengthen the knit from tearing while tying up the laces tightly. Speaking of the laces, these came with flat ones with 3M detailing on it, so if you do flash a light against it and look at it at the right angle, they will shine brightly. Also, in case if you don't like these laces, they do come with an extra set in a mint color with 3M details as well. Tongue-wise, there's a textile strap at the top with the iconic hole punch, a staple designed to the Consortium branding. On the right pair, we will see the famous Consortium handshake logo, while on the left pair is the Adidas logo. If we flip the tongue over, we'll see the opposite is true, with a mesh padding added for extra comfort as well. However, don't get fooled by the separated tongue design up top, as the rest is actually sewn shut to the sides, thus making it more sock-like and seamless. Inside the shoe, the mesh padding is seen here once again at the internal heel lining, again adding extra comfort points for our Achilles. Because of this, the back of the shoe is very plush by touch, which will provide a nice soft ankle impact protection cushioning when it's needed. Looking further down at the footbed, we'll see a netted transparent layer that allows us to see the 4D structure at the center of the midsole. The design is actually pretty cool in my opinion, considering the outermost layer does block the view of the internal complex. Furthermore, this transparent layer actually stops near the forefoot and becomes transparent again near the tip of the shoes. All of this monochrome upper sits on top of the 4D midsole technology, which is almost like a network of webs crossing and interlocking in between one another. By touch, the midfoot and heel area feels like a hardened gel. It's squeezable, but mostly robust in nature. The forefront is different though, and it's rather solid and tough instead. Because of its geometric complexity, the gaps do raise a concern of dirt getting inside of the midsole, which will be a terrible scenario for cleaning as it's impossible to stick something inside to do so some kind of high pressure water system is possibly the only way to blast the dirt out. Lastly, flipping the shoes over, we will see a thin layer of gray Continental rubber as the outsole. They've incorporated a nub design seen quite similarly to other Adidas products, but interestingly, the midfoot area seems to look bottomed out or flat compared to other parts of the outsole. Anyways, here are some Adidas Consortium Runner 4D Onix Grey fit footage. To be honest, I have not kept up with the 4D releases besides the first OG Futurecrafts, and I know sizing wise they do not come in half sizes. Since I heard the OGs fit in narrow, a half a size up was implemented in my mind. There's no way to try any of these 4D shoes in store as well as they're so limited, so I had to take a chance at sizing. I went up half a size as I have wide feet. However, apparently for these 4D Consortium models, they're more relaxed, so I do have to say these fitted a little bit too big for my taste unfortunately. If you are a half size like me, go down half the size, and if you're full size, then stay true. I mean, I can still wear them, but there's almost a thumb length of space that I would have to deal with, and since it doesn't have much structural strength to keep my feet belted in, I feel like my feet will slide too easily. Comfort wise, the upper is perfect just like what you expect out of Prime Knit. It's very sock-like and it hugs my feet pretty comfortably. Would have been nicer if I had the correct sizing, but the relaxing fit is just wonderful, especially for a wide-footer like me that hates constricting uppers. The 4D midsole though, it's nice to see a brand new technology starting to come up at present day and understand what's in store for us in the future. However, if you're fully expecting the same cushioning properties of Boost Tech or its recent competitor React, these don't come close at all, at least in my initial wear. To be completely honest, I don't even think it will become half as compressive as the other aforementioned technologies even when broken in, but do please keep in mind I am only reviewing these as a casual shoe rather than running or athletic too. And by no means am I saying it's a disappointing piece of tech or anywhere uncomfortable, but they are not anything close to the first time you've put on Boost or React on your feet, as they feel more or less the same than some of the other technologies that we already have today. I have actually quite a few things to say about the 4Ds though, and that first and foremost is the pricing. All 4D shoes that were launched this year were extremely expensive. In Canada, this pair retailed for 560 Canadian dollars before tax, basically $600 Canadian after. The tech for the upper existed for some time already, so we're really paying heavily for the 4D midsole right now. It really is hard to justify the pricing for the mass consumer, as something this expensive is really only meant for collectors, I feel. 4D could easily become the next breakthrough that Adidas and consumers want, but there was essentially no marketing, astronomically limited releases, literally 1 or 2 pairs per size each location, and secrecy that feels like a lot of people have forgot about them or lost interest already. Adidas did mention though that their ultimate goal is for us to go into a store so a 4D printer can immediately create our specific shoe and midsole tailored to our feet, but judging by the fact that it's so limited right now and its high price, it really makes me wonder if the technology is ready yet to mass produce 4D soles. I actually really hope that they're going for the early adopter style right now, where you would have to pay a price to get the latest tech, which means throughout the next few years, we could potentially and finally see the rise of Adidas' 4D projects. If not, yikes. As always, throw me some likes if you liked this video and let me know in the comments what you think about 4D in general. Do you see it becoming more easily accessible and reasonably priced, or have you lost interest as a whole like some others have? That's it for today. S2W signing off.